Got to remember to pause this game when I go AFK as well. I keep forgetting that there's an actual timer ticking. Not that it goes too fast, we didn't waste too much time, but I shouldn't leave it just rolling like that. Well, I want to go hand this thing into Everard, but I think we've searched... Oh, we haven't looked at this yet either. So we'll have a quick look at this. Banged up fuel canister. A bottle, drained of all its booze, is frozen to the ice.
A banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insulindian Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible. It must be cold and lonely down there, in the icy water. Remember the tire tracks in Martinez? This is where they were leading.
It appears to be so.
Let's investigate.
I agree. We should definitely investigate.
You get a sudden, sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water.
Run your hand over the cold metal.
The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists.
What is the make of this MC? Can I see a logo? What is MC motor carriage? Yeah.
The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see a monkfish float by.
How long has it been here?
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday evening.
Well, well, well. Looks like Jacob Irv's journey came to an abrupt end here.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Yes, yes. Crazy recklessness. Recklessness?
Yes. Crazy recklessness. I'd say it has been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
What should we do?
Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Low tide? When's that?
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider must have left something good inside. Guns, papers, maybe a cool jacket. A joyrider jacket. A joyrider jacket. You feel a strange connection to this joyrider. Maybe he's from some kind of joyriders district and likes blue and white racing livery, like a cop would.
How long will it take for the low tide to come in?
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
Is this my only option, to sit and wait? It's time. We've got a bit of time. Not really. Is it actually going to take 2 hours? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this now.
As you sit down in the old rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent. The hinges creak under your weight, dangerously so. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea.
Drama. Whistle a tune. Art cop? Are we an art cop now? Consciousness was trying to make us a boring cop. I refused a boring cop.
The tune on your lips forms a strange yet undeniably beautiful contrast with the surrounding bleakness. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. Then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher-pitched and slightly more melodic trill.
Kim's getting down with the groove.
Two birds on a wire, whistling by the seaside, looking at the water and the sunken car. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
We're going to ask Kim some deep questions about his dad. So, was your dad also, point to your eyes? What does that mean?
I'm pretty sure I told you already, didn't I? My dad and mom are both half Seolite.
Oh, right. I don't know who my mum or my dad was.
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
If you had to side with either the strikers or the shipping company, who would you choose?
Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hard place.
But if someone puts a gun to your head?
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Can you make out the... is it Marquis? Now?
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we
Mark.
arrived. I find it odd that you haven't. It's a Coupris, Model 40.
What a diss.
It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, firefighters, animal control people, you know, those kinds of people.
Is that a number on the side?
Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it. It's pedagogical.
Dude, this game definitely makes me feel dumb a bit though. Like the amount of words in this that I don't actually know.
Does he know something about that speed racer?
Like, what are these people talking about? 41 is his rank in the underground street racing hierarchy? No. That was our district, wasn't it? I hate guessing. District something? A precinct? Something municipal?
A precinct, yes. A police precinct. Precinct 41. Your precinct.
Oh god, did we do this? I doubt we did this.
A massive pit opens up
Uh-oh.
in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you.
Uh-oh.
No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
Was it us all along? Oh my god, it's mine. I drove my car into the sea?
I'm afraid so, yes.
Oh no.
It looks like you started in front of the whirling, jumped over the canal, and then drove your vehicle in the sea right here.
We've been following our own tracks the whole time. I want it to be Jacob, not me.
Well, it isn't. It's you. I'm very sorry.
Maybe I was in pursuit of someone.
Of whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were probably drunk.
How do we get it out?
Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point.
So it's just gonna be like that?
I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off.
The badge, the gun, and now this.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything.
Things were going so well, we were just whistling merrily.
You can still whistle. Besides, the night is always darkest before the dawn.
They're not gonna take me back after this, are they?
People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
I can totally still fix it. It's fine.
That is very unlikely. All the electrics are toast. That goes for the electromagnetic steering and brake systems as well. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. It'll be cheaper to buy a new one. Well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this.
People are gonna be angry at me, aren't they? In Precinct 41?
Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema.
I keep losing things everywhere. Where's my damn phone charger? This room is a nightmare at the moment.
This was 20% of the station's vehicular budget.
Well, at least I can see what's in there now. We got to be a little quick here. We've still got 35 minutes. We got something to do at 9.
Let's go take a look.
We found the traffic hooligan. It was me. I'm pretty sure we've still got enough time to run over there. Have a quick look. It's my badge. It's our badge. We found it. And our commander's jacket. Ooh, that's a good jacket. Yeah, let's put this jacket on. What are we wearing at the moment? Oh, that's all right, but let's put our real jacket on. The visual calc is good. Ooh, we look smart. We got the little bow tie on as well. It's probably my money.
This is it. The scene of the party. The fire pit. Cigarettes and empty bottles all evidence it.
Scene of the party. Yeah, it sure does look like a lot of folks partied here.
Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point, like a goose ice sculpture or a chocolate fountain.
Hey Kim, looks like we've got a couple of party goers here.
Looks like it.
Looks like they had a great time laughing here.
Hey, let's keep moving, detective.
Somehow, he doesn't want to dwell on it.
We still have one more of those traps to check. It's like all the way up the back. Might as well do that now. It's like all the way up the back. GG's. Team Secret 2-1 on OG. I've been a little distracted with the Dota going on. There's a good Dota major going on at the moment. My favorite team just moved through in uppers. Where am I going? Remember how to navigate this area. Yeah, I might as well check this now.
This is the last of the traps. The one Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. The reeds hiss and shake in the darkness that has settled over the abandoned camp. It's good the cryptozoologists left. This isn't a very cozy place to stay night after night. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here.
Ooh.
No locust.
Ooh.
No phasmid either, but still.
Look closer still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there, I just see an empty trap.
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked the trap up and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
Actually, I do get the feeling that someone or something may have messed with the trap.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not.
Yeah, it probably wasn't the phasmid, but still, Morel needs to know.
We did sort of promise to tell them, didn't we?
He seems to regret the fact. Kim's not been too keen on that whole phasmid quest at all. Oh, these forts. Oh, these forts. Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. Maybe we should spend a skill point on thinking about something again. I don't know, most of the things we've thought about haven't been that great. Some of them have been a bummer, actually. We thought about one thing, and I don't even like it. Yeah, this thing, whatever it is, gives us XP for some options, but it's -1 visual calculus, -1 authority. Now I have to spend like a skill point unlearning it? Well, there's meant to be fast travel, but I do not have a map. I think I need a map to be able to fast travel. So we're just going to run it the manual way. Ooh. How did I get over here originally? This way. Scribbled between the thighs of a page 3 girl. L'origine du disco.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Did you find out more about the owner of the armored boots?
Still no word, I'm afraid, sir.
Really?
I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
They said to call back today, and still nothing. It's like late. Report the dead body, I guess?
One moment. Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
Unidentified middle-aged man. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk, and hit his head against the metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
No, seems like it was an accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He's wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. Belongs to someone named Billy Majon.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Apparently we can call the library?
I'm afraid they're closed.
Oh,
It says here that the library is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
bummer.
We should try again during business
So
hours.
it is 8:30.
Anything else, Detective? 57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a...
Well, we've got about 20 minutes for this smoking guy. I don't know what we can do between now and then. I think we'll just hang and wait. Well, we're here now, but we're a little early, aren't we? What's this? The curtains shift just a little. Someone is watching from within. I think we're prying or jimmying our way in there.
This door is made of metal, and no one...
We should return in the evening. At 9 p.m. the earliest.
This is where I want to be. There's still 20 minutes. Guess we can find something to do. They said there's ways to pass the time by like reading a book or the benches. Have a look at some of this stuff. Thick blue piece of acrylic covering a thin leaf of paper with the officer's name and rank on it. Hey, it's got our name. Next to the writing, you see a man stare back at you. A younger version of you. Already disintegrating inside, but still presentable on the outside.
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
I found my badge.
At least something good came out of all this.
Study the badge.
Encased between two durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and, in the lower right corner, your precinct.
Look at the photo.
The man keeps winking at you with his green-grey eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that. But the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge.
How old?
8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns.
And he's winking? Why?
What do you think? His face is already contorted by the
The
expression,
expression.
although it looks less grotesque on him than it did on you. It looks like you had quite the charming face way back then. Your hair is brown and slightly curly. Your eyes seem more clear somehow. The lack of alcohol swelling is a bonus, though there's a pinch of that in your cheeks already. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Name, Harrier Dubois.
Harrier. That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't.
We can not accept it, but I don't want to be Harrier Dubois. What kind of name is Harrier?
It's a wartime name. Revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times. Like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
A name like armor.
We'll accept it. I mean, it's our name. It's on our badge.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
He's not going to call you Harrier. He'll keep calling you officer when he's angry with you, and detective when he's not. The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it,
Rank.
catching light. You
Oh.
see lines of
Right,
information.
you.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
What is a Lieutenant W. Freighter?
The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant.
And double your freighter?
The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're double Freighter.
Declined?
There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's decomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors, out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant.
Heavy-duty case-solving machine.
What's a decomptage?
Decomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens' militia. It means counting down to twos.
The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left during the revolution, which in turn was developed by last-century experimental psychologists in the University of Königstein.
The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kings.
What kings?
Kings like satellite officers and the additionally a freighter rank I already explained.
The long and short of it is, you're his superior.
So you've been putting up with all my bullshit because I'm your superior?
No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work.
Oh, yeah, good old Kim. He's a homie.
It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge.
And my cool coat.
He trusts you, for now. Try not to spoil it. Such a small yet precious thing.
Serial.
Expensive
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
The numbers are not there for good measure. They have an administrative purpose, one that's unfortunately been erased from your memory.
Date of issue.
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably yes.
Precinct 41?
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41, like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor, a lot of asphalt. The 41st is...
What?
It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks. But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse.
to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
Yeah, I've kind of assumed, because a few different people and things have said our name was, it was HDB at first, and then a few different people and things have called us Harry. So I was pretty sure that was our name, Harry Dubois. But now we've learned it's actually Harry, is the full first name.
Roberts, Feuerbach, Dimitri. Suddenly, names from your decomptage flash in your forebrain. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it.
Cool. That was something to do. Are we actually going to see this guy walk up into his apartment? Or will he just magically be in there in 5 minutes?
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum. It's signed by Lillian Carter and Idiot Doom Spiral.
Cool. I didn't even realize we did. This is sort of what I wanted to do. I didn't realize I actually did it. Just got someone bogus to sign it. So we've got a real signature and a bogus signature. We're going to send it off and then tell Everard that it was done. Bunch of stuff. There's so much to do, really. Sort of sticking to, well, mainly exploring that other area. Whatever seems pressing, I guess. Whatever's timed. Got some booze. We got some speed. We got everything we need. We got booze, speed, and cigs. I don't know if we've actually eaten anything in these 3 days, but it's fine. We've got what we need.
This door is made of no one.
We should return.
Oh, just chill here for 5 minutes. There's not much else to do, I think. I don't want to go running anywhere. Try to find like a charging cable for my phone, wherever that is. Dota's probably done for the day. It's like 10 PM in Malaysia. I don't have anything for getting into this door, do I? That could be a stat check or anything. It took me a while to realize some of these things that aren't interactable can be based on what you got in your hand or your stats or various things. So I don't know what's up with this door. Going back to places now that we've got more stat points and things, I think we see or find more things. Sometimes. What you up to, lady?
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman.
Do you know who lived in the foreclosed apartment?
The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume.
Damn. Tell me what you really think. Why is there a hole in the wall in the abandoned apartment?
Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls.
What is beeping?
With how small these rooms are, wouldn't you want to break the wall down? She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
Guru race. Yeah, I didn't get this last time. Book 16 days of coldest April.
In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekaterina Dar. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow.
Feels heavy.
Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead.
How long is this book anyway?
You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long.
Mm.
Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading.
Look at the back cover.
The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author.
What does she look like?
She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you.
If we start reading it now, how long is this
In
going to take?
cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots.
Wow,
in
that
the
just
20s.
jumped our time straight forward.
Youths
I was
overturned
wondering,
motor
yeah, time.
carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily
Actually noticing
armored
how that works
guardsmen
now.
dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. The Yugograd riots took place
have
from
time for this.
27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialized in art and literature. As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and look into each other's eyes. It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure?
Physically hurt you, wow. I wonder if we actually kept reading, if we would take a hit to health or something. Actually would hurt us. Wouldn't be surprised.
You've made the right life choices today, sir.
Alright, now it's 9:14. This guy better be here. Oh, there he is, standing there. It's our guy. He's elusive, this guy.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
The young man on the balcony gives you a bright smile before taking another drag from his cigarette.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight.
We got your hint. Found the key right under that stone.
Beautiful.
As he looks at you, something sparkles in his eyes.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
That's what I'm aiming for, yes.
Beautiful.
A nearby street lamp casts shadows on his chin, drawing out the slender cheekbones.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Bit creepy, but... By the way, I'm really digging the view here.
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
Is it Friday tonight? It feels like Friday.
Yeah, it does feel like the end of the week. Such gentle weather.
Pretty sure it's Wednesday. Why would I want to meet your friend?
Trust me, you do.
Very well, I'll talk to him, but first I want to talk to you. I have so many questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
But I just found you again.
Just look at it. It's a beautiful night. Who's going to stay in on a night like this?
Only if you promise that we'll talk again. It's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, alright?
Good chunk of XP. There's still the Sunday friend in here.
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
There's something so different about him that I just can't put my finger on.
Different, of course.
His shirt. Why is his shirt always unbuttoned?
His shirt.
His shirt.
His shirt.
He's trying to dive deep into the mysteries of his shirt.
What a mystery.
His shirt. No, I don't know why his shirt is always unbuttoned.
His mouth tightens as though trying to hold something back.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
Yeah, this was important, Eggs, right? I remember now why this was important, because this guy sort of has a perfect angle and place to see everything that would have been happening. Whoa. From, breaking my microphone. From this vantage point, they should have been able to see what was happening where the body was hanged down there. Whoa, we're in. Who's this guy? Looks sus. A quarterly business magazine. Alright, I'll see you later, agent. I would say I would love to come by and see it, but I'm going out tomorrow night, so I don't think I'll be around. But have a good stream. Have a as good of a dental appointment as you can have. I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time. An empty ashtray. Dishes soaked up in a pot. Flyers for underground parties. Dates for open lectures at a local university. An exquisite canopy bed made of metal. Samaran conical hat. Buckets of paint on a layer of old newspapers. Party Dragon Silk Robe. +1 drama, electrochemistry. Dude, this stuff looks cool. It's not really the stats we want too much. Is this jacket? Yeah, I sort of like the stats we've got going on at the moment a bit. We don't have a hat at all, but yeah, we don't need more logic. We don't want to nerf any other stat for logic. Logic's the main thing we have. +1 empathy, -1 logic. Oh, those are good. That's sort of a good balance with what we have at the moment. Alright, what's this guy, this sus guy got for us?
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Sunday friend. The man in business casual removes his cufflinks.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good.
Super.
Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
Wow, alright, he's already just leading us straight into it.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Well, I do want to know about the hanging. What should we ask first? The wonderful canopy? It's all pretty random. Before we go on, I absolutely have to inquire about this wonderful canopy.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame industrial. It's very comfy. That's really all I can tell you about it.
He forms a little rooftop with his fingers. Cold air sweeps in from the balcony.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
You actually witnessed the lynching?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Let's keep our cool. And just say, start from the beginning, if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers. like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood I should not be seeing this.
All the surrounding windows go dead. Yeah, everybody was just like shut down, closed up.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Well done, detective.
God, after like so much time we spent in this game just running around doing random things, this is actually really pertinent to the case. Who were they? Can you describe them?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez.
He pauses, looking for the right wording.
Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
How many of them were there?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
8 is the count that we had.
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
Mm-hmm. And it shows that this guy's like telling the truth as well. He doesn't seem to be screwing us around. Were any of them huge? Like 200 kilograms huge?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
We sort of already established that the big guy would have carried him over. What happened next?
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Were they men? Women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
What ethnicity were they?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
What happened next?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened? They lynched a guy.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Why didn't you call the RCM? I feel like we've established that a bit. As long as we can ask both questions.
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
So let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
That's a bummer. Those are all my questions. Thanks for your time.
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM.
That wasn't as spicy as I sort of hoped. What's an official like you doing in Martinez?
The Coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Okay, but what are you doing here in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the Coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
So you're some kind of bureaucrat?
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stabilité. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Intern.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the Moral Intern is joking or not.
What is this international community?
La Communauté Internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the Coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
And what do I call the coalition?
Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration.
What is the price stability?
It is the most important thing.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce.
Makes sense?
That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Below 2% of what?
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
You're not answering my questions at all.
The Coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Okay, sure. Give me a leaflet.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
I wanted a leaflet. I've heard about this moral intern before, but I want to know more. God, we're really getting into it here, aren't we?
It's the International Organization for Moralists. Hence, Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the Coalition.
Ooh, so we're actually working for the moral intern? That doesn't seem so bad.
There are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Are you a moralist?
But of course.
Am I a moralist?
Well, do you value freedom? Do you believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values?
Turn to Kim. Lieutenant, are you a moralist?
Me?
You've managed to catch the lieutenant off guard, but only for a moment. He quickly recomposes himself.
I don't want to put Kim on the spot too much.
I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Ravachol.
A very moralist answer.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors.
But what is a normal, stable world?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, sur la clé.
Martinez doesn't seem very normal or stable to me.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
What about the rest of Revachol? Is it part of the normal world?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Relatively speaking. He gives you an approving nod. And this moralism thing sounds alright. I don't think I'm a moralist. Moralism sounds incredibly boring. I want more action. It's like every time I'm talking to people, I'm choosing option D, none of the above. Is that moralism?
Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer?
It's usually the most boring one.
Not boring, my friend. Responsible. Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed. An ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend? It looks to me like you are. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Tell me about Sur-le-Clef.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
It'd be cool if it was, though. What makes Revachol Sur-le-Clé's darling?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-la-Clé's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Tell me about Oranje.
Oranje is an exemplary
I got that
nation
right.
who, as a core member of APIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur-la-Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
Which one of them is more EPIS?
As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur-la-Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur-la-Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions.
Okay, but outside of EPIS, what is Oranje?
Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
Can't you just talk like a normal person? God, I feel like saying that to everyone in this game.
About what?
About Oranje. Just tell me what it's like there.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
Enough business. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you wish, officer.
Can you tell me about your friend?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
What's Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
What do you mean?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
What's this EPIS thing you keep talking about?
EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
God, yes, sweet standardization, the backbone of rationality and commerce.
Unified system of weights and measures. Hey man, I'm Australian, all about the kilograms and centimeters, no inches.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
Okay, but like, what does it stand for?
Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole.
No, what do the letters stand for?
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level.
You don't even hear the words I'm saying, do you?
A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
Is it going to be like this place here?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
Is Revachol going to be part of EPIS?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Candidate.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
Didn't you say that candidate members never become real members?
No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
How did you two even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
What are you talking about? No one becomes friends that way.
Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too.
You still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry. Who?
Your friend, the smoker on the balcony. We were just talking about him.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
Fine, but what's his real name?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
So all you can tell me about him is that he's here to study the arts?
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
Which arts?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
What are you doing in his apartment by yourself?
I'm just enjoying the view.
What view? It's dark outside.
Listen.
He says, raising his hand.
A baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
Someone's baby is crying.
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay.
What about it?
This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
He knocks on the balcony door, his face mirrored in the darkened glass. I was asking about your friend.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
I had something else in mind.
I'm all ears, officer.
Is that it? It's just a bunch of more political rambling. Thanks, I've got all I need.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Hold on, why can't we talk later?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
I'm not going anywhere. I just want to take a look around in this apartment.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Let me know if you have any further questions.
I think we've already sort of had a look around, haven't we? It's not much else to look at. Moderacy in everything. Even in moderacy.
Was there anything else?
Are we done with this guy?
Of course. I'm glad I could help.
Well, it's late. Are we able to send this letter now, I guess? Before we pack it in for the night? That wasn't quite as exciting as I hoped. I assume we got some information out of that. Kind of seemed important. Well, that's that. Do a hard save. It's nighttime. We've got a new shack to sleep in now. We don't have to spend our 20 real at the whirling. There, I remember where the mailbox was. We were kicking it, hugging it, whatever we were doing. We were doing weird things with that mailbox. Here.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front.
I knew we'd get to use this mailbox for something.
Yes, for sending mail.
Makes sense. Drop the white envelope into the mailbox. I guess we're going to send this. It's busted anyway. Yeah, we didn't actually do what the guy wanted us to.
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug, Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
So far, we haven't actually done anything Everard really wanted us to do.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
Well, hopefully he doesn't find out tomorrow. Is it too late to go to him? It's past 10. Is he still going to be just hanging out there? If we go all the way over there, I doubt we'll be able to go in there and talk to him at this time of night. Let me get over there again. Anyway. Oh, it was all the way around, wasn't it? It's a bit of a mission. I guess we'll head over now. This, he's trying to send a false bunk letter. We want to talk to him straight away. Be like, well, we did it. It's done. Let's move on. Before he realizes that there's a bunk signature on that thing. But I doubt we can get in there. Chair. A giant ass print on the pillow and a pattern of coffee rings on the armrest. The ass groove. Got to get that perception and stats up so we can see the ass groove in the chair. We missed that before. The finer details. This guy seems to live in here. He could be up late. This guy's still here. He's not there. I want to rummage through his file. If he's not here, we should rummage through his stuff. There's nothing to do here. We're going to have to pack it in for the night. Look, something forgotten on the coffee table. I don't see anything. Interactable.
Yes?
Guess we'll have to come back in the morning. I'm going to go all the way to the shack now, so I'm not spending that 20 bucks on the room. Especially with that guard guy, he sucks. We haven't actually stayed in this room. I think if I walk back over there, I should be able to pack it in for the night. A bit of a mission. I haven't even seen or know any clue of how we can get a map. Apparently you can get a map somehow. Now we're just running around. Where was this shack again? Here. Our new house.
It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, Kim.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Cool.
On the table, you see a bowl of water. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection.
This was a really
of your
high
face
roll
in it.
chance that we blew, didn't it? We
Such
put
as
a
it is,
point in encyclopedia.
The
We've had the expression
It's just hairy.
the whole time.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Go to bed. Cool. On to day 4.
Across the room, The heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you forever.
Spinning.
On Ferrotape.
Ferrotape. Spinning in eternity?
On and on it goes. For untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising. Rising. Above the dark curvature. The great wingspan of sleep. Studded with stars. Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time. The last time. The smoke in her mouth. The plotted flowers. The faces turning, changing.
What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
The rain, the snow. I don't want to. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images. You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes. Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right. I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the working class. For the money, baby. For the greater good.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
We've got a few thoughts. We're making progress. Measured, steady progress.
There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him. He's got no idea what he's in for.
Why?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
Feel the pillow under your cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time.
Open your eyes.
Good. You're up. Listen, there's something that's been bothering you for a few days now.
What is it?
It's a suspicion, or a feeling really, that things are not quite in hand around here. An earth-shattering deduction from your psyche. What will those guys come up with next? Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't holding, and despite your efforts to moderate and contain these energies, things only seem to be getting worse.
Wait, I thought things were going pretty well.
Oh, sure. You've been making progress on your case, interviewing people, solving side tasks. But who's focusing on the big questions?
What am I supposed to do?
You've got to find out who bears la responsabilité.
I thought I was assigning responsibility for the murder.
Harry, you're thinking about this too narrowly. La responsabilité isn't concerned with trivial questions like who killed who. It's about the real issues, the human welfare index, the price of staple goods, the transition to real democracy.
What exactly is la responsabilité?
The most awesome, terrible thing. It is human nature to crave la responsabilité and to deny it. That's why it must be distributed across many different organizations, agencies, offices, and portfolios.
All right, give it to me. I'll accept responsibility.
Whoa. This isn't some kind of dictatorship. You can't simply seize la responsabilité for yourself. It must be given by a legitimate authority, like a committee.
And who should sit on this committee?
Only the most even-keeled minds in Martinez. Your half-brother, the lieutenant, is a natural place to start.
Why is he calling him a half-brother? Do we mean that literally?
Together, you'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in Rivershaw. And, if necessary, you'll have the wisdom and expertise to assign it among yourselves.
And what happens once we've assigned responsibility?
Most likely, your findings will be collected in a report, which will be carefully reviewed by your superiors. Once they've reviewed it, those same superiors will produce a set of recommendations to be taken up at the next meeting of the Standing Committee. Rest assured, no matter what happens, it will be done through the proper channels.
I'm prepared to take on this awesome burden.
Good luck. Your report is eagerly anticipated.
Funky. Well, day 4. None of this stuff would have changed. Yeah, I think we still need to
you see a bowl of water.
unlock those rolls. Well, Kim should be out the front, and I guess we're just going to go straight to Everard. Hello. Good morning.
Yes?
Kim, we need to talk about responsibility.
I'm glad to hear it, Detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject.
What do you mean?
If you ask me, it's high time for you to put the bottle away. Sober up, get back to basics. That would be my advice.
No, I meant like la responsabilité, you know, the kind that gets assigned.
Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stabilité? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for?
For this whole situation.
Ah, now I understand.
The lieutenant nods his head gravely.
Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility?
How did you know?
Simple. Because moral intern types love to form committees. In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the moral intern's umbrella, but I'm certainly not qualified to serve on any committee. You know who might be, though? That Mr. Villedroit, the gentleman you met in the young man's apartment.
I think isn't he kind of gone, though?
If I were trying to get in touch with the Coalition, I would start by seeking him out. But first you might need to speak with his young companion.
I'm not sure how we actually speak to either of those guys again,
Now,
though.
was there anything else?
That's all fine and dandy, but he kind of said that he's going to bounce. We're not going to see him again. Not sure when we'll find the smoking dude again either. Looked at these things, haven't we? Oh, who are these people? Who's this jacket? Fuck the world. Very edgy.
That's one brutal motor carriage.
Says the young man with a word that I'm not going to read out, written on his back.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
His companion wears a simple yet elegant slogan, fuck the world.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
They seem oblivious to the fact that we're both just sort of standing here.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational title.
Who are you?
I can tell you who we're not. Cop. We're not snitches. Or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, Cop Man, is we're not part of the skulls. Yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
Who are the skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
Of course I do. I'm just testing you boys.
The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
His voice rings with excitement.
Besmetine, or the Besmeti, the Immortals, are West Rivisholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Non-verbal?
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around the brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
Do you know anything about the murder that took place here?
Murder?
A man was hanged in the backyard of the Whirling in Rags.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged.
Anything else?
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Ah, this sounds like epistemology, a field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
I know that you don't know shit.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
Maybe it's true. The hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the artist is hiding somewhere in the dark.
It's not. A man is dead, and we need answers.
So what do you think we know?
Do you happen to know what happened to the victim's armor?
Nope. But Cindy does.
Don't tell him that. Skulls don't tattle, man. Cindy wouldn't.
You mean Cindy the Skull?
No, a different Cindy. From out of town. She doesn't know shit about armored gloves, that's for sure.
A bit late for that.
He did mean Cindy the Skull.
Nice attempt to backpedal there.
All right, we have a lead on the gloves.
What's with the jackets?
What about them?
Why do you have "fuck the world" written on your jacket?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though...
That is a terrible metaphor.
You get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking some one. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point.
Why does your jacket have "rude word" written on it?
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
What?
What I mean by this is, we are all piss and that the world is inherently meaningless.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow. Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Hey, Kim.
Yes?
Do you think it's... what do you think about their jacket? Do you think it's a coincidence?
What is?
There are 2 of us and 2 of these jackets.
What are you implying?
Which one would you wear?
I'm not sure I understand you, detective.
Nothing. I don't really want to push this weird conversation.
You wanted to know which jacket I'd wear, right? Neither. I'd wear neither.
Come on, Kim. It's just a mental exercise.
Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think piss is the stronger of the 2 statements.
That works. I feel more like a "fuck the world" kind of a guy.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So are we done here? Or... you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
Dude, the 8% half-light, I don't think we're going to get one of these jackets. Well, talking with you has definitely been something. I don't know about those guys. I'm not a fan. I don't know why we'd want those jackets either. Would you give a call about the armor, I guess? And we'll go to Everard.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? 57's over and out.
I guess, I wonder if that's ever going to go anywhere. It's been like that for 2 days now.
You see a set of
We
steering.
got a lead on some of the armor. They just kind of sort of gave up a name. Was it Cindy the Skull? It sounded like we knew about. I cannot remember who the hell Cindy is, though. When I get up to Everard, I need to take a quick break, run to the bathroom. So I imagine there'll be a whole conversation here. have like 1,000 different quests and things we could do, but I'm sort of following the main lead for now. Need to talk to this guy again. Maybe he's here. It's not a fishing rod, is it? It's... Whoa, we sort of glitched. Where are we going? Need to BRB really quick. I won't do a proper bake, I'll just BRB quickly. Ooh. Let's talk to this guy then, see what's going on.
Yes?
Hopefully he doesn't know how much we've sort of just been not doing what he asked. We're not playing this guy's games at all.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
He just wanted us to sit on that chair once, didn't he? It's done. I've mailed the signatures you asked me to mail.
The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this.
Yeah, he
My
knows
friend,
everything.
the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Alrighty.
Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in.
Yeah, we're not playing these games.
You don't know his full plan. Perhaps he expected trickery. Perhaps the signatures weren't important. The point is, do not think you're ahead of him.
Yeah, this guy's crafty. Did you order the hanged man killed?
I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead.
What did you gain from him being dead?
Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war.
They're trained military people. Aren't you afraid for your men?
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1. And that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
How is this connected to the strike?
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not gonna give nothing. We're gonna take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're gonna take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice.
Now he is calling him a
I can't
midget.
put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance.
Why are you telling me your plans?
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening.
How many of you guys are there in the Union?
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol.
How are you going to fund your new independent harbour?
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
You can't possibly hope to continue like you have. Clients will leave en masse.
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
That's just the top of the iceberg though, isn't it?
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column.
In bulk shipping, large volume column is a major buyer, a shark.
We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed, and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperidone.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and risperidone is used to treat severe psychosis.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned.
He smiles.
But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
He's basically admitting to it.
We could push the murder. Interesting stuff. I just want to solve this murder, okay? And just sort of forget about the whole drug thing. I feel like if we push him, drugs are a no-go for me. I'll report this. Start making him cranky. Or he might just blow it off. Interesting stuff. I just want to solve this murder, okay?
You know why you're such a good detective, Harry. You don't get sidetracked. You care about the people you're supposed to protect, not some systems that may or may not be unethical.
Hey, if I had the time after, this is something we could do after the murder. Come back and bust this guy. For now, I want the info that we need out of him.
Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez.
It would still be illegal.
Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight.
Well, I mean, if it has the word incorporate in it, then I like it. I'm a money guy. I don't think we'll say that. I'm not feeling a whole lot of Revachol here. Not enough flags or kings. Or do we just say the boring fourth option as we usually do? The boring cop. Honestly, it's not my place to judge. I just don't want to piss him off too much. I don't want to make him too angry. You can say this is a bit more interesting, I guess. I'm not feeling a whole lot of Revachol here. Not enough flags or kings.
Harry, the future I have in store for Martinez will have all the macho aesthetics you love so much. The crowns, the guns. I will even slip in a skull and bones for you, my friend.
Oh yeah, skull and bones. Skull and bones on the Revacholian flag. The Revacholian Death Squad. Oh yeah, the visual image has completely bedazzled you. You're 100% with Everard now.
Can I ask you about specific union members?
We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
Can I get my gun now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me. But it had to be done.
Fine. Where is it?
An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character. So watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway, the neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
She was waving it around at people?
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
We might be looking at someone with a medical history here. Watch out.
Who is this old woman?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
There it is again. The Pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
A smile flickers in the corner of his mouth.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
Can you set up a meeting?
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
It's not till 10 tonight.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Where do you say it was? Near the old fish market on the coast, the one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Somewhere up there. I don't know if we should bring up the signatures. Might just leave that one, because we did sort of fake the signatures. Let's not push that. Maybe just leave it. That's it for now.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union.
Suddenly there's sadness in his tone.
has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open. I'm always happy to educate. Very nice,
That's
Harry.
about it from him for now. Now we've got this meeting at 10. Seems to be the main important thing. That's not for a while. Alright, well that went somewhere. What do we do until then?
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always up for sharing.
Leo, you seem to know everyone around here. I want to ask about someone.
Mr. Everett doesn't really want me to talk to people about Union guys. But who did you want to talk about?
God, look at all this. I don't know how much we need to push all about this. Tell me about the guy in the container.
Who do you mean, mister?
He's rubbing his nape and looking at you with childlike innocence. The fancy guy in a suit, in that container over there.
I don't know anyone like this, mister. Maybe he's one of Mr. Everett's fancy friends. He knows all kinds of fancy people with suits and purdy carriages.
He really feels very uncomfortable discussing matters related to Everett with you.
Tell me about this Edgar guy you keep mentioning.
Mr. Edgar is Mr. Everett's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does, but a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some union business. Not even in Revachol, they say.
Don't interrupt.
All kinds of places he visits. Him and his brother both do when they're on a vacation. Right now, it's Mr. Everett's turn to look after the union. But last year he spent a whole winter in South Africa. Left with the first autumn rains and didn't come back before the trees were green again.
South Safari. A lot of bulk chemical manufacturing going on there. A lot of cargo shipments being made too.
Tell me about Manana.
He's a union man through and through. Good guy. He's very calm, laid back, doesn't do much, talks to Everett sometimes. Honestly, I don't know what he does for us, but it must be important because everybody likes him. Yes, they do. I think that's what he does. He makes everyone feel a little better.
Tell me about Measurehead.
Whoa, he's really something. He doesn't talk much to me usually, but when he does, I don't really understand most of what he's saying. Actually, I don't think he would like me running my mouth about him like that. Once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some union men. I think he really believes Jean-Luc was a dragon because he ran right off. Another time he almost killed another guy, but I shouldn't talk about that.
Tell me about Titus.
Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water, I tell you. Nice friendly sort old Titus is.
He's probably one of those rare specimens who are born when two drunk seamen stumble on top of each other on the deck amidst a storm so violent it flings whales around.
What? Tell me about Everard.
I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Everard would like it very much. You better ask him yourself, mister.
Tell me about Rene.
The night guard. Ooh, he's a peculiar fellow. He's the strong, silent type, you could say. We talk all the time, but I don't really know much about him. He plays petanque with my old human studies teacher, Mr. Martin, down at the plaza. I think he's the only fellow who actually knows old Rene. They lived on the same street their entire lives. Even dated the same girl on and off for as long as I can remember. Strange fellows. Mr. Martin was always real nice to me in school. I remember once.
Hold up, Gaston was your human studies teacher?
Mr. Martin, yes. Don't really remember much about him. I was just a boy back then. Sure, mister. What can Leo do for you?
Well, we've got this meeting now, but that's not till 10 o'clock tonight. we could wait on a bench and wait for time to skip, or we could just do other stuff. I'm getting a little keen to sort of get on with the main things, though. We do have a lot of things we could do. Like, so much stuff. A lot of it I don't actually know how to do. Not really sure. We could pack it up for tonight and just do another full day of this stuff tomorrow, doing random things. Or we could go sit on the bench, skip some time, and get to the meat of this meeting. The meeting. Kind of a little tempted to see where it goes. I might do a hard save, sit on the bench, and check this meeting out. So I'm on the verge of packing it up for tonight. It is almost 1:30 a.m. Not really sure how much longer this all has to go. There is still so much stuff to do, but God, I'm not too worried about all these random quests. I feel like we should do more of the different stuff. Not leave it all behind. Feels a little janky with this extra 20% zoom out distance. Like the fog. Isn't really ready for it. We'll do a hard save. Hit this bench. We'll see what this meeting is like tonight.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
Hey, Raga.
We can sit
How's
on
it going?
benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
Thank you very much for the raid. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the follow. HD Gaming Pie the Second. Yeah, we are deep into this game. It's if you're just joining, it's this game's a lot of words. I'm not sure if you played this or checked this out before, but oof. This game is basically like a visual novel. Like over 90% of the game is just like text and dialogue. I'm sort of at a strange spot now that we don't really have a task to do for a while. I was sort of just wondering what we're going to do for time now. So apparently we can't wait on the bench if Kim is hanging around. Thank you for the follow, Pachimara. Hello, everybody. I'll say, yeah, this game, it's a lot more of a slower paced dialogue, moody type of thing. How do you guys feel about politics? Thank you. Hello all, wow. It's definitely and this must be the biggest raid I've ever gotten before. I guess we'll hang around and just do some various things. I don't know what to do though. We've got all sorts of quests. Sing karaoke, find speed and sniff it, all sorts of exciting things. Find smokes and smoke them. I thought that we could skip time using a bench, but maybe not if Kim's hanging around. So I guess we'll hang around and do a few various different things. It is getting a little later on my end as well. It is 1:30 a.m. So we'll just do some random tasks for a while, I guess. Go back to the Whirling in Rags and talk about cryptozoologists. Dude, this game is too smart for me, straight up. There's some big words in this game. The vocabulary is insane. Yes, welcome. What were you guys playing on Raga's stream? Look at all these people. These are our guys here, aren't they? Amogus.
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Oh, is this his wife?
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Just doing my job, ma'am.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude.
It's a
tie.
Territorn tie.
Mexican origin. The pin is an antique. Quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
Yeah, Twitch is intense with the ads at the moment. I've got to remember to like manually run ads. I'm sort of figuring out, because we can control that a little bit ourselves, but Twitch is just crazy with the ads these days. I'm going to talk to some cryptozoologists about phasmids. You've never told me you've seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
Measuring things is important. How did she get the size?
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Hey, you Russian crow. Well, thanks, thank you for the raid, and it is currently 1:32 a.m. here. I'll say though, no shame if this isn't particularly your jam, this game, because we are 26 hours into this on day 4. There's been a lot of different story stuff, and might be a little lost with everything going on. The general vibe, I mean, through the whole game, we're basically investigating a murder. We haven't done much with that actual murder case yet. There's a lot of just talking to people. These are a bunch of cryptozoologists that have been looking for special animals. We're trying to help them find phasmids.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
For a game that is mostly dialogue, at least it's very well written. As I mentioned, it's a bit over my head sometimes. It's very intense, but I liken it a lot to that Simpsons meme I've been posting a lot. It wasn't Martin when he's playing that game, and they're just talking about politics and French or whatever. He's just tell me more. That's pretty much this game. But it is incredibly well written, which sort of carries it along.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course,
boys.
Most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed,
I think this guy's meant to be Australian.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
Yeah, yeah.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
He looks at her with admiration, forgetting a wide smile on his face. You were on a date?
Our first, yes.
The old woman looks at her husband tenderly.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him. Interesting.
Yeah, have a good sleep, Raga. Raga, thank you for the raid. And for everybody new here, I'm a variety streamer as well. I just sort of play whatever. Usually on the weekends, it's multiplayer games with song requests and stuff. Through the week, it's a bit more chill, like this. Playing the single-player games. This weekend is the Splatoon 3 Splatfest thing. So we're going to be playing that on Sunday a lot, for sure. Its limbs are white.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
What's crazy about this game is it originally didn't come out with voice acting. I think it came out, it was reviewed and sold really well. And so they went back and used the money they made from the game being a success to add all this voice acting. And it's such a difference because over 90% of this game is just dialogue trees and stuff like this. And God, I can't even imagine it without the voice acting. The voice acting really sets the tone as well. Heads up, this is a very adult game as well. Big themes of like racism and misogyny and all that type of stuff. It's even censors itself here and there, so a bit of a heads up on that. It's a big boy game. Speaking of big, how big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
What if it is the case?
Maybe you imagined it, Lena.
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here, what makes it a confirmed sighting. She had no previous knowledge of the insect.
So she couldn't have made it up, or imagined it.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena,
She lowers her voice, imitating a boy.
you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notes and gives her a simple smile.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own. Into the mud. Anywhere.
Esprit de corps is one of our stats that relates to us, our connection with the police. Understand cop culture. Yeah, God, I've had to Google so many words. Like my Google search history now is just all these complicated words at the moment because some of this stuff is crazy. And these are your stats. Should we level Esprit de corps? Oh, we got 2 skill points. Should we put one in that or should we put one in savoir-faire? Or conceptualization? Or volition? This game is crazy. The good thing about this game, though, that I've really been appreciating, it's super complex, but it doesn't seem to matter too much. It's actually very low stress. It's got all these stats and like a day timer that's ticking and everything, but you don't need to worry too much. Like sort of whatever you pick, something will happen, and you'll always be able to progress. You're not really going to get stuck or put in a hard spot. So it's pretty flexible. You don't notice this about me, I'm sick. And there's another thing is you don't necessarily want to just say everything all the time. You got to think about what you're saying, because we keep going and telling everybody that we've lost all of our memory. It's not the best play, but these people seem pretty cool. You don't notice this about me, but actually, I've lost all memory of the world and myself, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Surely things can't be that bad.
I hope you're right. I hope it's not too bad.
You know where we are, right?
We're in Revachol.
That's right. In a hostel called the Whirling in Rags, to be precise.
Okay.
Yes. And Revachol?
Honestly, I don't really know anything about Revachol.
Oh my. How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I. I haven't seen very many other cities personally. Everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days.
There's a pause as she studies your expression. You must look quite lost.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
I know it's 51. It's the spring of 51.
That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
You got a kind green ape pen.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there, but now she relaxes her shoulders.
I guess we'll hang out and just go through my journal. The next main story thing that seems important, we've got a meeting to go to at 10 p.m. tonight, but that's not for ages. We just woke up. It's barely 9 a.m. So I think we're just sort of just going to hang around and do various quests and things, see what's going on. Until then.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Good lord. What do we say here? I'm not the most politically tuned guy myself. I'd like to think it's the dictatorship of the proletariat, but something tells me it's not.
Oh, sweetie. It's really not. There used to be people who thought that way, other people who wanted those things, but they all went extinct.
Thank you, Crow. Yeah, I'm definitely a bit of a smaller streamer over this side, but we keep it pretty chill over here.
Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own, and certainly no dictatorship of the proletariat.
But they still have cops.
If there's no government, how come there are cops?
Oh dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't really any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
I wasn't kidding. What is this revolution you mentioned?
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new. Something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago.
What does that have to do with there not being any cops?
It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better.
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do I know of these things? And how can I help you?
A lot of these things chiming in is our own thoughts being internalized, and it's all different aspects of our personality based on what we've leveled. So that was a skill check. My empathy is well enough. My empathy kicked in to sort of read the vibe of what she's actually saying. So what we've leveled and what we've sort of focused on will kick in at the start. I've gone pretty low on the physique. I went for logic, sort of thinking stuff. But yeah, these things are my own internalized thoughts telling me things. We talk to ourselves a lot in this game. So how did I do?
You were doing quite well up until the end there. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Remembering reality, in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
She means this sincerely. Worrying won't do you any good.
Who could tell me more?
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
She turns to the lieutenant.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a police officer.
Of course. Then, I don't know, someone rich maybe. Wealthy people are educated, though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez. But thank you, sweetie. You did make me forget about my worries for a while.
We do know a wealthy person, that guy of light. We do have a couple of interesting characters to go check out after this, actually. I'd really like to hear more about cryptids. Oh, God.
You know, to hell with it. Let's have more cryptids.
Of course, officers. Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about?
Is this bird a cryptid?
No. It's the cryptid.
Wow. The cryptid?
Oh, yes.
The small silvery skull shines between your fingers, its beak sharp. Okay, what is this bird?
The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until?
Until it was cited by renowned Gottwaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not all-knowing.
I need to hear about this sighting.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
Okay, and Umaro is...
The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert. An ancient riverbed completely dried up.
What happened?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
He was following it?
Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist. Then the teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird.
Why?
The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uva spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away.
Hold on. How did he survive to tell the story?
The 8-eyed Tetatorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
An 8-eyed, mind-controlling bird. Fuck yes.
Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrao is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
So yeah, I've been trying to control my swearing on stream and stuff lately, but that's all out the window with this game. This game gets pretty rude.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
So Kim's our fellow detective. He's our cop friend. He's a bit of a pessimist. And we've sort of had to convince him with these people talking about all these crazy animals.
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
He likes how crazy it is. He doesn't believe it at all. So that was the last anyone saw of it?
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes. It's not a zoological drawing.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know?
What's the biggest cryptid?
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
Right, okay, we can move on for now. It'd be dishonorable to renege on the promise. This is what I'm talking about, these words.
I'm glad
I don't
you
know
see
these
it that
words.
way.
I'm too dumb for
Do
this
we
game.
have anything more to do here?
That's all for now, Mayhem. Got a few different things to do. We've got a couple of skill points. I'm going to keep those in the bank in case we get some checks or some rolls. Oh, look, it's our smoking guy. He's here. He's just hanging out. We need to talk to him again.
Hi, gendarme. Another rendezvous.
There he is again, the smoker on the balcony. Right here in the whirling in rags. You're here.
I am. So are you. What brings you here?
What are you doing here?
Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer?
This is where I'm going to go down in history. I'm going to sing karaoke.
Really? Well, I look forward to that.
And this is actually important. Tell me again about that muscular type who came to investigate the crime.
Oh yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think he was going through the entire building, asking questions.
What did you tell him?
Nothing. That I didn't see anything.
And he believed you?
Why shouldn't he?
Did you tell him about your friend?
What friend?
Your Sunday friend, the witness.
No, I don't think it came up.
What did he look like?
Muscular, handsome, strong, like one of those military types.
Was he alone?
Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece.
What was he saying?
Just reporting back whatever I was telling him.
Besides muscular, did he have any other identifying traits?
Oh, let me think. He had an accent. He sounded like one of those mercenaries. He sounded vaguely Oranese. No, not vaguely, scratch that. He sounded definitely Oranese.
Thanks for the information.
Sure. Anything else on your mind?
I need to talk with your Sunday friend again. It's about committee business.
Oh, a committee. How interesting. And if I may ask, gendarme, what is this committee about?
He takes a measured drag of his cigarette.
He's all bemused skepticism. He doesn't actually care what you want with his friend.
It's about assigning la responsabilité.
God, of course it is. My friend is always trying to convince me I need a little more responsibility, as though I don't have enough going on already. In any case, I would love to help. But the thing is, I don't know where he is. We don't talk about everything, you see.
He gently taps the end of his cigarette with his forefinger.
He might have mentioned something about making a tour of some historical sites up the coast. In an unofficial capacity, of course.
Do you know when he will be back?
Not a clue. I'm not his agenda keeper, you see.
I guess I'll have to look for him along the coast.
I guess you will.
I met your Sunday friend, which is a bit... We were just talking about him.
You did? And how did you like him?
You were right. He was magical. Magically bureaucratic.
I told you, he can be very useful. I guess that's the charm of powerful people.
Who is he?
A visitor from the first world. He's not like you and me, gendarme. He can always return.
Return where?
To his opportunities in Occident, sur la clé. Still, his coming and going brings some life to the village. Or is it just money? I don't know.
Why was he staying at your place in the middle of the night?
He has keys. And he likes the view. To the sea, I mean.
We're sort of probing into some personal stuff here. It's probably not our business. What are you two?
Friends, I told you. Sunday friends. Friends who like to get together from time to time.
What does it mean? A Sunday friend?
That he won't be there when times get tough, I guess.
Is that even a friend?
It is. On Sundays.
I don't want to talk about other people. I want to talk about you.
Hmm? What
So
about
this
me, gendarme?
Skill check. 28%. Our composure is low. What is it about the way he carries himself? So this is 28%.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
So we have a bunch of clothes. Our clothes affect our stats. That was composure, yeah? Do we have anything for +1 composure? The shoes make us more composed. These stats make a big difference.
Hi again, gendarme.
Put us at 42. Do we want to spend a point on composure?
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Composure's pretty good. It's already 5, but it wouldn't hurt to put 1 more in it at least. It helps a lot. Kind of hit the skill points in the bank for when we get these checks.
Hi again, gendarme.
Is that still the same? It's over 50%. We'll try it.
Could he be a member of the homosexual underground?
Could he? Yeah.
Just pointing it out. We're not talking about some kind of cult with members here. You made it up.
I'm not bringing it up. Let it go.
Hmm? Bye-bye, gendarme.
Yeah, get too much into this guy's personal life. Oh, we do need to go talk to Kuno. This is where things will definitely get rude. I hate these kids so much. These horrible kids out the back. Still haven't been up here to the smoking lady either. Yeah, this kid sucks.
Fuck does Kuno care?
I talked to Manana about the armor.
So?
He raises his eyebrows, projecting aggressive indifference. He told me you promised to sick the pigs on him.
Yeah, so? Kuno did sick the pigs on him. Kuno's a man of his word.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
I will remember this, Kuno.
You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the fuck out of here, griefing the Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
Our empathy is way too low to figure out what is going on with this kid. We could try it though. It's hard to know, like, sometimes if you mess up these rolls, you'll take a hit. Our morale's pretty good. It's a white check that we retried. We could try this. It's pretty low, but we've hit these percentages before.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Hey Kuno, think you can turn the Kuno down for a moment? Let's talk like normal people.
Trying to fuck at the Kuno! Trying to fuck at me! Trying to fuck! Kuno only gets higher! It's faster, faster, faster! Can't take the Kuno! Stay out of the reactor!
Kuno gonna fuck you up! Up, up, up!
Normal is not what we got here. You've got to work with what you have for now.
It's enough of these kids.
Kuno doesn't fucking care!
Good for you, kid. I wonder if... I mentioned before about someone wealthy to talk to. We could go talk to that guy in the container. What actually can we poke at for today with the spare time that we have? Karaoke, we don't actually have a tape yet, do we? Oh, we needed to go by there. Ooh, I think we can actually do the karaoke thing. Was at the pawn shop, there was a boombox. We might be able to do the karaoke now.
Top of the morning to you. How may I be of service?
The boomboxes wait on the shelves. And your boombox, that gold and amber Harmon Waushi, stares at you longingly with its tape reel eyes.
I want to buy that boombox.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
I did get a sad tape, didn't I? An empty cassette case. Yeah, smallest church. Insane songs.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
Can we play it now?
You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing.
Keep the porter reel at the harmless distance and wait.
Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Sessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Within seconds you know this is the one. The real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to. This one tells it like it is. This is your tune. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning.
Could I sing this for karaoke? I think I could sing this.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like 1,000,000 times. Yup, they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
What?
Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand. The lieutenant watches you pack up the boombox. He doesn't say anything.
Some of it's pretty funny. The game starts, we basically wake up in our underwear with a massive hangover, no memories. We're a cop who just went on an absolute bender rampage. Sort of retracing our memories, putting things back together, and the whole time our buddy Kim has been very tolerant with our nonsense.
Can I help you?
We can give him the bird, that's right, we had other stuff to do with guard. I found a new bird for the whirling. Give him the ruffed growls.
What is this thing?
The man takes the stuffed bird. It's no biggie, I just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cop.
What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
Hey, no worries.
People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy. He likes it. He likes the bird. It solves his broken bird problem.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
It's not real police work at the end of the day.
It's not actually about that, but he liked it.
Gart, I need to sing karaoke now.
No, you don't. It's not happening.
He tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge the karaoke man. You need to approach this situation logically. Ask him why he has the PA system installed if you can't use it.
Why do you even have the PA system if no one's going to use it?
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
What happened in 44?
A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke.
It's not a prop, it's for your clients. I know it's used.
Okay, yes, it's for some clients.
I'm a real client. I've paid my bills and I have the right to use the karaoke machine.
Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
He's lying, but whatever. You don't really need his lame tracks.
It's all good, we're prepared. It's alright, I have my own song with me.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard.
Fine. Climb on that
Here we
stage
go.
and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself.
Oh, now we can finally karaoke. This feels right. You belong here.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
The drama's pretty good. Look, Kim, I'm going to sing karaoke.
I can see that.
The lieutenant steps away from the stage, ready for your performance. Look around the room first.
It's still early here. Faint daylight is seeping into the dining hall. All the tables have been wiped pristine clean for the customers to come. Someone's making coffee in the kitchen, but aside from that, no one's really around yet. It would be a much better idea to perform in the evening, no?
I probably would be, yeah. We should wait for more people. Oh, I'm so keen to bust out this karaoke, but we should wait for the evening, I guess. Maybe not quite yet. We need to have the maximum amount of people here for our epic performance of a sad song.
You see a heavy... The man ponders his cooking.
I think there's anything new, any new dialogue with these guys. Might be something with this guy, since we've figured out a lot about this murder now.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Titus does not look particularly happy to see you. Me and Everard talked. He promised he'd cooperate.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
We've pretty much established with there was a murder out the back where someone was lynched. And it was pretty much all these guys. We pretty much know it was a lynch mob of these guys. Very mature guys. Everard sent word, right?
Yeah, I heard him. The fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy, and these are my boys. Hardy boys. How may we assist you?
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
I found someone who saw the hanging. A witness.
A witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would never come to you with this.
That's just tactics, Titus. Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already rolled on the others, and is in witness protection.
My witness isn't a local.
Well, let's hear it then. Who is your mystery fella?
He's not alarmed by the sudden appearance of a witness, but he is surprised. This goes without saying, but nonetheless, don't give out his name.
I was going to say, I don't think we should just tell him straight up who our witness is. That's not very witness protective of us. Who he is irrelevant.
It's like you said, Al. Copper's coming up with this on the spot. There is no witness.
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. Tell us, Copper, what wacky claims did he make?
The witness said the hanging went down very quietly. No shouting, no commotion.
It's you assholes that feel the need to go around like a fucking brass band. The Hardy Boys are dead silent.
Shanky chiming in there, sort of confirming. He's probably going to tell him to shut up.
Yeah. It's like they put cowbells on you before they send you to the streets. What's with the cowbells, policeman?
They're avoiding having to answer this question.
I imagine you guys drinking and singing lynching songs. What's with the funeral silence?
We were drinking, weren't we, guys? I hit the bottle hard. I was drunk as fuck.
Just so we know.
Right. I'm convinced, Glenn. Nothing off here. Just a regular hanging.
Bullseye. Glenn looks around uncomfortably. The lieutenant hit a nerve.
The witness said he saw 2 people of Areopagite descent and 1 Mesk.
Arabagite? Boss, I think he's trying to say me and Theo.
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene, Theo, and Elaine were there too. I already told you. We were all there.
The witness said it all looked like a surreal play.
That means absolutely nothing to me. Sounds like some made-up horse shit.
It means the whole scene was long and drawn out, like it was from a film.
What is this fella's problem? Sorry we didn't make it more action-packed. It wasn't the first thing on our minds, you see?
Shanky. It's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story. Now I know there was.
You don't know shit.
I know you are lying, Shanky.
He writes in his notebook. Actually, nothing.
Great witness.
He must be really parched, because he takes a giant gulp of beer.
So much bluster to hide the fact that they're uncomfortable with you having this info.
Our authority is going up a little bit, 17%. That used to be lower. It's a white check that can be retried. We could try it now, put 1 in authority and try it again, I think.
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
First you tell me someone's been censored, and then you don't say who. That's bullshit.
Stop shitting your pants. You don't need to know, alright? We took care of it. The law handled it, alright?
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
I guess we're both the... I guess we're both the law around here, if you start to think about it.
No, asshole. You're nobody. I'm the law.
Stop yelling about the goddamn law in my establishment. We get it. You're all the law.
Let's just all cool off. We had some questions, that's all.
I think we're going to try that again. Do you have any authoritative clues? To strong arm these guys a bit more. Don't think so. I think all I have is minus authority.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
28%. It's probably going to fail again, but we've got enough morale heals to sort of try this again. We've succeeded, and we've succeeded at a lot lower rate than this. We missed a 90-something% roll, so even 28% could still get. Found a witness, discussed 8 party.
This time it's going to work. You already ruled out the first bad option that didn't.
I'm the only thing keeping this town from going to hell, and you're not helping.
And what exactly is it you've been doing that's so goddamn special? Shitting yourself in front of us. Going around, harassing kids on the street. Kids who've done nothing wrong. All the while talking racist shit. Don't think we aren't watching, fascia. People here trust us. We're getting complaints.
Fascia. That's short for fascist.
I'm not shitting myself.
Of course you are. E, didn't Carly work in a diaper shop?
Yeah. Callie said you've been hanging around the adult diaper shop, browsing the aisles. Too ashamed to ask for assistance.
Now that I can believe. And then there's the matter of the floor being completely covered in feces.
They're getting very literal with this.
Yes. Shit, feces, poop, scatological jokes. If you don't have anything more to say, then we are going to go back to asking questions.
You don't have to be the butt of every joke. You're making the lieutenant look bad. Just stick to what you know. Guns.
Yeah, we'll leave that for now.
I've got nothing to say to you.
What to do now, then? These guys are sort of jerks, aren't they? We've talked to them.
Yes? What is it?
There's a bunch of whole new stuff. It's been a couple of days and we've talked to so many other people. I guess we've got all new things to say to these guys. Are you by any chance, lean in real close, working class?
Well, raising 2 children and half a husband on a patrol officer's wage? Yes, I guess I am working class.
Cool. Give her a little wink. I am too.
Okay.
Are you with him? Point to the man with sunglasses.
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
He's an asshole.
You're an asshole. You know what? Maybe we're both assholes.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay?
You're the police, right? Cool. So am I.
I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, Judith.
Wait, what are you, the police, doing here?
I'm just looking out for...
You?
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are?
Policewoman? A horse-faced woman? Say nothing.
I just want to do my job, that's all.
She says quietly and looks away.
Something about the man with sunglasses and you. The energy between you two is making her uncomfortable.
Yeah, I wonder why. You have a blue uniform, and mine is black. What does this mean?
It means I'm a patrol officer, sir.
Well, we didn't get too much out of all that. Well, where to now? But I keep calling back about this armor, but it doesn't seem to get anywhere.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? 57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of...
Well, what to next? Sing karaoke, we're going to wait until later on. Explore the secret passages, no idea. There are strange doors in the whirling, no one knows where they lead. I've only seen one strange door and I've got no idea how to get in there. Who made the call reporting the crime? No lead on that. Victim's tattoos, no lead on that. Not pushing that one. The pissing competition. Ask Kim about this?
Yes? What do you want to know?
Now that we've inspected the scene, I want to know more about this pissing competition you mentioned.
What's there to say? It's just stupidity.
What kind of stupidity?
The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion.
Ah, so this is a struggle over who runs Martinez?
Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest, with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary, somewhere in your mind hangs a dark green blackboard. There are two columns. One says, cases solved. The other, confirmed kills.
Close your eyes.
The rows are endless.
Look for Precinct 41.
Jean Vicmer, Judith Minot, a special consultant. What was his name? Then the rows degrade into green nothingness. Your brothers have left you.
So you volunteered to spoil it?
Yes. I'm an unrepentant spoil sport.
The lieutenant appears pleased with this. For some reason I thought you had 104 solved cases.
Well, technically. The official record keeper has been known to double count murder-suicides.
A common accounting gimmick used to inflate precinct stats.
So you're still a good cop, right?
I'm good enough for this case. I'm not here to compete. I came because I had to. My fellow officers, the sergeants in particular, would have made this scene into a circus.
What's special about Martinez?
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
I wonder what this says about me, that I was sent by my station. He raises an eyebrow, thinking it best to let you make the next move.
It's all part of the master plan, you see.
I am a highly experimental cop, but if I am right, this is ultra even by my standards.
Really?
I arrive at the scene 3 days early, drink myself to oblivion, fully re-immerse myself in this reality, and then work the case from an angle so crescent fresh it produces never before seen results. Not only for criminology, but for the human mind.
It can't be that.
Part of him sort of wants to believe what you just said. I'm a notoriously difficult to work with wunderkind with extremely unorthodox methods.
Wouldn't that be something? And who could say it's not true? If you really don't remember anything, how would you know? We should move.
Okay, enough of the competition then. Tell me something else.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
We got this, we're very logical. Why did the 41st send me?
Look at you. It's because you're a failure.
Oh.
They sent you to slight Precinct 57.
What? No, that can't be right.
Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late wearing piss-stained disco garb. You weren't sent here to win.
Kim, what if my precinct sent me on this case because I'm a fuck-up? Like, as a joke?
I've considered it.
His voice is somber. So it's true.
It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional. But I also think it's somewhat unlikely.
Why is that?
I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win.
Huh, so you are their finest.
I am the finest of nothing.
Do you really see me as a safe bet?
Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
Yeah, we got our morale healed from that rough guy before, failing those rolls. Dude, we could level up Inland Empire to retry this roll. Convince Kim there's a sexy, dark mystery twist in the case. Chewed for our skill points. We're just going to procedurally work through this for the day. So as I mentioned, our main story questline thing isn't for like 12 game hours. Time seems to pass pretty one-to-one IRL until you start doing things. And then the time will start jumping ahead. So, but one day is a long time in this game. The victim's tattoos. Doing that. We've tried that. Find speed and sniff it. Well, we do have some speed on us. I don't know if I should just go cranking speed right now in the morning. We can do that sometime later when we actually need it. Who put the clothes in the trash? Ask Kuno if he knows anything about the victim's clothes. I thought we expanded our lines with Kuno. Analyze Gary's composure to find out if he's hiding something more. God, I can't remember who Gary was. Yeah, we got no authority with Titus, but I think the more we're doing throughout the game, that seems to be going up our chances. Joyce's info on the lynching. You just have to present it with your badge. We do have a badge now. Who was Joyce? It's been so long now. I can't put that in hand, can I? It's been a lot of hours, game hours, real hours since I've talked to some of these people. I do not remember who Joyce is. Isn't she the one who was meant to represent the Union? So we'll go around and hit up people, see if there's any new dialogue.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
Got any smokes on you?
Nope. Don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting for the sweet release of death.
Yup. Nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You'll have to ask around elsewhere.
I guess I'll ask around then.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Revachol's weird.
Have a look around. Eventually I'll run back into this Joyce or remember, I guess.
Everything's still cool here.
Seleng still chilling? Ooh, this is new.
This screen found, A to Z, Contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
Try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and 2 steering levers.
Try the handle. I don't have much faith in it.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
How are we going to get this open, Kim?
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
Really?
This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
Alright, Kim's not normally that blunt with just smashing things open. It was going to be my idea. I thought he would disapprove, but... Let's pry bar it up.
This screen found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead.
Our physical
It's
instrument is
seen
still
as
so
base.
bad. This is 17%. Got a few buffs. We could put on the white tank top. I feel like there's something else minus. That's all I've got. We could drink. Yeah, we could take a sip of some potent pilsner. How do I actually drink this stuff? Forget how to actually use this. It's not interact. How do I actually use this booze? I feel like the last time I put it in my hand, there was just like a prompt to use it. I have a lot of booze. Yeah, this is lit up now, 3. No idea how to actually use this booze. That will actually help that much. One more point with that 17%. I feel like last time I just put it in one of my hands and we got a prompt to be able to drink. We have drunk before. A sturdy bottle of beer that tastes like piss. Not that you would know how piss tastes like. Just a guess. How do I use booze? I think we're meant to just click on this. I mean, there's some reason why we can't.
Lowman, you caught me at an airport.
Doubt this guy's got anything new, yeah? He doesn't like us at all anymore, this guy.
Right to work!
Oh, okay, it's just really weird. See how it's lighting up when I... Good. Okay, that's real janky. It is how you do it. A very specific spot you have to click. We're boozed up. We're tank topped up. Let's see if we can bust into this. Whatever it is, the lorry.
This screen found A to Z
That helped a lot.
contemporain.
Still only
is marked
42%.
in the shadow of the ruins looming. With a firm
Yeah, we
grip,
got it.
you raise the pry bar. A glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, lorry cabin.
Welcome to Revachol, window.
The window shatters and droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement.
Subtle,
says the lieutenant and sticks his hand in the window like a common car thief and then opens it.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Admire the posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
Stop and wonder, what's that smell?
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably Grenade No. 5.
Study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. This is Tip Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too.
Enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Examine the radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
Dial key. What else is here?
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
Check the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole. Ooh, that's a clue.
Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, interesting. The missing 8th Hardy here?
Looks like her, yes.
And she's also the one running the drug trade? What a handful.
Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
Not necessarily. The lady driver could have kept the drug trade a secret.
You're right. But we should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and a faint smell of perfume is in the air.
Pull out the pull-out toolbox.
A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold the newspaper.
It's an issue of Peri-Ferik from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick it up.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
His thoughts trail off.
The pull-out toolkit slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was.
They got some
Radio,
bootleg.
posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes.
They got some bootleg other frequency system they've been chatting on. Ulan.
It closed the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
I forget who Joyce was. Yeah, we definitely need to talk to Joyce. Wow, that was actually a really good lead, whatever that was. We'll talk to Kim. I need a quick 2-minute break. Go to the bathroom and kitchen.
All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company.